4 of their habits, their learning habits, their work habits, their collaboration habit, how they work with other people, and their client service habit. Okay, so these are just 4, but all of us are made up of hundreds or even thousands of habits that determine the vast majority of our behavior, our actions, without us even having to think about it. Okay, but these are just 4. And have a look at A and B. Read what's in the cells over there, the purple cell and the orange cell, and then tell me which one has a winning mindset. So A or B has a winning mindset. And the answer, type it in the chat when you're ready. There are 5 steps for doing this. Okay, so the first step is to set the stage for inspiration. Okay, number 2 is to evangelize the why you have to have a winning mindset to your staff. Okay, and then number 3 is to spotlight how you're going to do it. Okay, so basically, how do you young people develop a winning mindset? What are the broad principles or pillars of a winning mindset? Number 4 is to execute specific programs to help them to develop this winning mindset at work. Okay, and number 5 is to bake it all into culture so that there's real sustainability and momentum behind it. All right, so 5 things to inspire a winning mindset in your team. One is to focus on whether you have trust with your team and whether you have a good rapport with them. That obviously doesn't happen overnight. It happens through respecting them. It happens through spending time, spending laughs. It comes through being consistent, being predictable, doing what you say you're going to do, you know, not breaking their trust, things like that. Okay, so that takes time and it's a continuous effort. All right. So number 1, build trust and rapport with your team. And number 2 is to try to secure their basic needs. Okay, here is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, and don't have to worry about reading all of the words. Basically, what it says is that for human beings, for them to be motivated to do some of the higher order things, for them to be motivated to stretch and to work on their best self and to pursue mastery and to think about broader things like that, their basic needs have to be met first. They cannot be scared. They cannot be hungry or insecure, right? So as a leader of the team, it's your job, if you want them to go for higher order things, to secure their basic needs first, okay? Here, you have a winning mindset. Because of that, you develop great habits. Because of that, you exhibit exemplary behaviors. And because of that, you get success, okay? And then on the right-hand side is, of course, you have a fixed mindset. As a result, you have mediocre habits, you have ineffective behaviors, and then it's stagnation or even failure. And then, of course, there's a further right one, which is, you have a negative mindset, etc. Okay, so that's the core argument. But core argument is not enough. You have to support your argument. What is the proof? They will say, boss, what is the proof? You just want us to do more work. What's the proof of this? Okay, so here's where I want to throw it out to you guys. All right, how can we support our core argument just now? With reasons that matter to our team, with reasons that matter to our millennials here. Okay, so let's have a motivational spectrum here. Okay, and with motivational spectrum, you have reasons that are to do with fear. So you scare people to do something. And then on the right-hand side, you have reason to do with inspiration, where you inspire people to want to do things. Okay, so again, let's do the annotate. All right, and annotate any argument that you would use to convince millennials to have a winning mindset, to stretch. You have to be on the purple line, and roughly 1 in 2,000 Malaysians will make that material dream that you're talking about. So be under no delusion that it's going to happen just because you're a graduate and you're going with the flow and you have a decent job. So be under no delusion that it's just going to happen. Okay, 1 in 2,000 Malaysians will reach it. Will you be one of those? All right. Okay, so that was the hard talk, the fear talk. All right. Okay. So then we have the inspiring talk as well. Okay. So in this way, from the mothership through to the satellites that they co-own with us, through to their own satellites in the future, this is how we are going to achieve our vision of developing extraordinary world-class Malaysians. Okay. And it's for our country, it's for our children, it's for their children. All right. So that's the match vision talk. Okay. In order to have your satellite, guess what we want from you? What is it? It's all the characteristics to do with a winning mindset. Okay. All right. So that is the match vision talk. We need you to achieve your dreams. We need you to stretch so that we can fulfill our mission too. All right. Okay. So these are two examples of motivating our millennials on the fear side and on the inspiration side. Okay. But the bottom line is different arguments are going to work for different groups of people. The problem is these talks are not happening, right? So these talks between leader and the people they are leading are not happening. So like I said, that's what we hope to be advocating more towards in future. So these are the 6 things you must focus on developing. 1, your big, meaningful purpose. So for all of our staff, they all have a 20-year purpose that they articulate to us, right? We tell them it's okay if you're going to change your big purpose, your top professional goals along the way, that's no problem. The point is you must have it, because without that, you will not stretch. Okay, so a big, meaningful purpose is number 1. Number 2 is building 2 powerful minds, okay? Your rational mind, your subconscious mind, your fast brain and your slow brain, okay? So that's another topic for itself, all right? But basically build a powerful mind. That is your vehicle for the winning mindset, okay? Number 3 is a commitment to healthy habits, okay? And our personal coaching program handles quite a lot of this, making sure that the staff are developing healthy habits, yeah, getting rid of the habits that they want to get rid of. Okay. Number 4, relationships that build you. Okay. Hopefully the photos can speak 1,000 words here, but we have amazing relationships at Radiant. The people are happy all the time. You can't believe they're not on drugs. So the relationships that build you. So they're very positive for one another. The initiatives which build winning mindsets that we do at Radiant are 5. Okay. And like I say, this works for us, but for every organization, different things will work. But the main thing is to do it, right? To have this program. So in terms of directed for them, we have technical training and certifications, okay? Like ropes and first aid and TTT and stuff like that, okay? And then we have monthly study circles. So everybody has to read and share, right? And then we have team bonding activities and trips. So lots of varieties of this, from annual dinners to mid-year trip, end-year trip, staff-only trips which management cannot join, don't know what they do over there, post-project celebration and things like that, right? So lots of little things. They don't have to cost a lot at all. And then we have a personal coaching program, which is really powerful. So when we started doing this, really, we didn't understand the power of having this attention of a leader saying, whatever you need, you direct it. I'm going to make it happen for you. So personal coaching program has been amazing, and it's more on the self-directed end of the spectrum. So what the employee wants to work on, of whether it is to fix or whether it's to accelerate themselves in a particular area, they decide and we make it happen for them. So that's personal coaching. And then finally, the personal mastery program. So personal mastery program is the one where they've put a mark to say, okay, 20 years time, I want to achieve this. And we give them the budget, the time in order to either go for the courses, get an apprenticeship, experience something, experiment using the facilities that we have, anything, in order for you to stretch and be able to start on the journey of making that particular area an area of mastery for you. And this is completely self-directed. So we tell them that, there's no penalty if you don't do it, but there's a huge lost opportunity for you if you don't. This is something you're going to do for yourself that your future self is going to so thank you for. Okay. So this So when it's already part of your team's values, is culture, but it has to be reinforced all the time. Otherwise, it doesn't stick as culture. It just becomes an instruction or something which we'll adopt for a month and then we forget about it, etc. So in order to make something into culture, you need things like reinforcement, constantly repetition. You need a shared history. You need evangelicals in the culture, right? Your chief and your shaman that's always going to talk about this thing. You need rituals. You need symbols, you need celebrations, you need something that's going to bind all of these things into culture. So we can call it a signature event that embodies your culture and involves everyone. So a signature event that's about winning mindset in this case, okay? So this principle of how you create culture is true across anything that you want to create culture about. But in this case, we want to create the culture about a winning mindset. So what is a signature event that we can do that embodies this? Okay, so the answer is again different for everybody. So I'll just share you the radiant answer. And that is our world-class team excursions. Okay, in summary, we've establish what is a winning mindset. And we've discovered that, wow, it's really obvious and it's really differentiating, okay? Then we established that, okay, wow, it's actually not common, it's quite rare, okay? Most of us think it's less than 20% of people out there. So we really should do something about this, okay? And then we talked about what are the 5 things we need to do in order to be able to inspire this amongst our own people. All right, so set the stage, tell them the why, spotlight the how, do the what together, and bake it into culture. Okay, so it's worth every effort. It's absolutely worth it. I can tell you that from the bottom of my heart. And I make it sound so easy, but we've had to learn it the hard way a few times as well. So okay. The problem with bad apples obviously is when they are highly technically qualified.
Okay, faham.
Yeah. So when they have,
where you have to keep them, right?
No. You never have to keep a bad apple. Trust me on that. You think that I can't because, we brought in this person highly technically qualified or has all of these years of experience. It's exactly the kind of thing that our clients ask for in our resume, that kind of thing. You think all of those things and you hold on and then you will suffer for it. So there's been a couple of instances in our history where we had to cut loose bad apples and the same kind of thought process went through and you absolutely never regret it. The minute you cut them off, then the atmosphere changes in the organization and then all of the juniors bloom, they blossom and they easily fill up
because
the
these people are toxic, right?
Yeah. So there's nobody is indispensable and certainly not a bad apple. Never. This bulletproofing, you want them to come up with the answers themselves. So like we ask them to tell us the material dreams themselves. We ask them to calculate the money that they need themselves. And then we ask them to think about how many people that they know out of 100 people that they know have already achieved this. We multiply that by how many people in the room. What percentage is that, guys? 1 in 2,000. That actually coincides with what is actually true from the from government statistics as well. Okay, so a lot of bulletproofing along the way to be able to convince them that it's not, teh tarik and put aside 200 a month and then you're gonna get it. No, you're gonna end up a very bitter old person. So that is the fear part of it. But thankfully, we don't spend too much time on the fear part. We like spending much more time on the inspiration and the fun trips and stuff like that.